Happy Wet Soap Wednesday. Welcome. I'm Kendra with Soapy Friends, and today we're making some banana soap. I love banana soap. One, it's fun, it's silly. I mean, we're putting bananas in soap, right? Now, I grew up on banana bread like most of us did, but I don't feel like baking in the summertime. And with the kids out of the house, I don't need to be eating that much banana bread, right? So we're going to make banana soap. It's going to be awesome. Why on earth would you want to put bananas in your soap? Lather. I am telling you, the lather on purees, fruit purees in soap is awesome. It's mainly due to the sugar content. Bananas specifically, when they turn brown, this one I just popped it out of the freezer. You see a little bit of frost on it, defrosting. But this brown is because the sugar has turned, or the starch has turned into sugar. That's what makes a banana brown. Now, when you make banana bread and you get those little speckles all in throughout the bread, and you kind of want that same thing in your soap, here's the key and the trick. Brown bananas that have been frozen. So I've taken a mushy brown banana and used it in soap, and I got some speckles. Not as many as like, whoa, great speckles. But when I've frozen them, and these are both frozen, every single time I freeze them and pull them out of the freezer to use, awesome speckles. I don't know why. I do not know the logic behind that, but freeze your bananas, then defrost them to get those wonderful, wonderful speckles. Okay, let me flip over to the overhead so you can look down with me, and let's make some banana soap. First things first. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for popping in. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Marcella. Glad you could all join. Okay, let's talk about the bananas and how much we need. Now, linked in the description for the live stream is my blog post, Adding Food Stuff to Handmade Soap. All this information is in there, including how to add dry stuff, wet stuff, beer, wine, eggs, the whole shebang. This information is under the Adding Fruit and Vegetable Purees section, because that's what this is. It's a fruit. Now, I have this one I popped out of the freezer last night and into the refrigerator. So this has been defrosting in the refrigerator, so it's already really soft and mushy. I am going to just squeeze it on out, and I wasn't sure if I'd have enough. And I'm glad I did get the second one out. That's 70.5 grams. I use fruit purees at a ratio of 100 grams puree to 1,000 grams of oils. So that's pretty super easy. That's what, 10%, I think? Oh, look, I needed 1.5 bananas. Now, pro tip here. Did you notice how I opened the banana not from the stem, but from the bottom? My son taught me that. We've been opening bananas wrong our entire lives. If you open them from the bottom, you don't get that weird smushy bit at the top. He said he learned it from watching monkeys, so I'm going to go with it, and it seems to work. I'm also going to just try and refocus you. I feel like it's a little bit fuzzy. Well, let's just reset that. Didn't that look fuzzy? Okay, I'm just going to reset. There you go. See, you were fuzzy. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside off to the compost pile. This will go after it gets ground up a little bit. Okay, so we have my 100 grams of bananas. And feel free to ask questions as we go along. Hello from Tucson, Arizona and Puerto Rico. Jabones, I'm sure I mingled your name. I apologize for that. But thanks for popping in. Okay, so now let's talk about water and soap a little bit as we just look at our mushed up bananas. And I'll actually mush them up a little bit while we're yip-yapping. there's a lot of water in here because it's not dehydrated. It is a fruit. And you notice I don't have to do too much mashing because this was frozen, then thawed. It's very, very mushy. Bananas mush super easily. But we have to account for additional water in our batter because we're adding all this fruit. Now, additional water, meaning more water than if I didn't use soap, or if I didn't use fruit in my soap. How much water is in here? I have no idea. I do not know what the water ratio is for a banana. But that's one of the beauties of how I always soap at 1:1 water to sodium hydroxide. I can pretty much add as much extra water as I want to, up to equivalent of 2:1, maybe 2.5:1, depending on the process. But if you use a full water, or if you use more than 1:1 water to sodium hydroxide in your standard formulation, you need to reduce that if you're going to be using fruit purees. Go ahead and reduce it by, I'm going to guess, maybe half of the weight of your fruit. So maybe even more than that. If this is 100 grams of fruit, I'd want to reduce my water by at least 50 grams, maybe even go ahead and go up to the full 100 grams. Just whatever it is, ensure your lye is fully dissolved with a 1:1, and then you can add back in any more water that you want to based on your recipe. But the more water you add, the hotter things are going to get in your mold. And I'm using a pipe mold today. That can cause some overheating. All of the sugars in here are going to cause overheating. So we want to be soaping cool. Now, today, we are not actually soaping at 1:1. I have 1.5:1 plus the fruit puree. Now, there is some logic to my madness because I just told you don't add too much water, and here I am soaping with more water than normal. The reason being is because of my recipe. So in my recipe, this is my coconut oil free recipe. I don't think I've shared it before, but this is what I use when I get customer requests for anyone allergic to coconut oil. So there's nothing inherently wrong with coconut oil. I get asked that a lot. Why would I want a soap without any coconut oil? And it's because you have an allergy to it. So this is palm-free, coconut oil-free, vegan, unscented, uncolored. So perfect for those folks that are pretty much allergic to everything, with the exception that I did add some shea butter in it. Now, with shea butter, I just pulled the oils out of the freezer because I'd warmed them up too much. With shea butter, anyone that has a latex allergy can be allergic to shea butter. So that could be a potential allergen. So that's my only one thing. I have olive oil, sunflower seed oil, shea butter, and cocoa butter in here. I always put the cocoa butter in my banana soap because, well, who doesn't love banana bread with chocolate chips in it? And that aroma, that wonderful, sweet, sugary, slightly cocoa-y aroma, all of that comes through. So this is going to smell great. It's going to look beautiful, have a great appearance to it, even though we didn't color it or scent it. I love that about the soap. Okay, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. I think I have covered everything, and Jordan wants to know, can you smell the banana in the soap? That's a really great question when it comes to fragrances in general. So let's talk about that real quick. When you smell a banana, like a real banana, you got your banana for lunch, you peel it, it's not brown and mushy, it's just this great banana, you're going to enjoy it. When you smell it, does it smell like anything? No, it might have like a fruity, sugary aroma to it, but it doesn't smell like banana. The banana aroma that were used in candies and those scratch and sniff stickers when we were kids, oh, those are awesome. That's not what a banana smells like. So no, there's no banana smell, and I'll go ahead and I'm sniffing, and it smells a little, I don't know, starchy, almost like glue. Those starches breaking down into sugars. That banana bread smell is in there. You get a smidge of that in the final soap, but I would not say it's going to smell like a scratch and sniff banana. It will have a lovely, natural, earthy aroma to it, complemented by the cocoa butter. And I am a firm believer of the power of the mind. And as soon as you tell someone there's banana in the soap, their grass is greener on the other side. That trick our brain does for us, where we always remember things, that kicks in, and you're going to smell what you remember a banana smelling like, whether or not it's there. Brain's pretty crazy cool. Okay, so we've talked about how much water I have in there. Oh, but I didn't talk about why. I was talking about my formulation with the olive oil, sunflower seed oil, shea butter, and cocoa butter. No coconut oil, no palm oil, none of those real hard oils that we typically see in our formulations. I do have hard butters in here with especially the cocoa butter and the shea, but there's not oodles and oodles and oodles in here. It's just enough to really give it like this silky lather. This formula, without adding any fruit to it, I mean, it has a lather because it's high in oleic acid that's in the olive oil. Another problem that it has with it is if it does not gel, it's a bear to cut. It crumbles. I mean, you have to be right on top of it. Otherwise, you're dealing with a mess. It's a mess to cut. It gets rock hard, real fast, crumbly, super hard to cut, just like any olive oil soap would. So what I do is I increase my standard water. So instead of 1 to 1, I go 1.5 to 1. Because that extra water will help with the chemical thermal process and heat things up, helps to ensure gel, but not too much because I don't want to run into soda ash issues. And then by adding the fruit to this not very bubbly soap, I get a super bubbly soap. So we end up with this great lather without any coconut oil or anything. I just love everything about the soap. One of my favorites. Okay, so we talked about water, we talked about oils. I have a mold. If you're interested, it is just an ABS pipe with an ABS cap. I did put some freezer paper in here, shiny side facing in. Sorry for the autofocus there. And we have our banana fairly mushed up. I'm going to do the rest of the mushing in with the oil. So I'm just going to pop these little guys in here, give it a good scrape. I really didn't even need to mash them up before I put them into the oils because I'm going to run the stick blender through it. As step 1, we just need to give this a good mix. So notice I didn't add the banana to the lye water. I did not do anything that could scorch it. I just added it directly to the oils and I'm just blending it in. This is the same process you went through in the pumpkin soap. That is up on YouTube. If you want to check that one out, that came out great. I love the sweet aromas of fruit purees in soap. It really does add a lovely aroma to it. And again, it's not strong, it's not overwhelming, it's just a nice, lovely sweetness. Okay, there we go. So that's all mixed in, no clumps of bananas, and you can kind of see, I mean, that's fairly reminiscent of the color of the soap, but once this cooks up with the sodium hydroxide, we should get some lovely speckles. We probably won't see them until we unmold and cut the soap, which will be more than likely ready tomorrow. And I'll try and pop in and do an extra week live this week showing you what the cut looks like. Oh, and before I forget, I told myself I was saving some of this. I was going to pour off some of this Did you see Amy with the soap challenge club? She posted a reel. She took kaleidoscope slivers of a kaleidoscope soap and wrapped them around soap balls. They are amazing, and I cannot wait to make some. We are totally going to make some. These are going to be the soap balls, so I'm going to save some of this to roll a few soap balls out. Oh, so cool. Now, this is a little bit thicker because there is fruit in there. I'm at 110 degrees. And, oh, it does smell really good, nice and sweet and cocoa-y. And I can see speckles happening. Can you see the speckles developing in there? See? It's because I froze my bananas. But since the fruit puree makes our batter just a tiny bit thicker, be very, very sure you have reached emulsion. Even go for a little bit past light trace, up to a more noticeable trace, which we totally have, and that was really quick. Wasn't that awesome? So could you imagine a high olive oil soap coming to trace that fast? Fruits can be our friends. I'm just holding the side of the freezer paper down while I pour. I don't need to be doing it anymore because I've got about halfway up. But what that is going to do is, I'm trying to figure out how much I should save of this. It keeps where the paper kind of overlaps just by that little bit of pressure, making sure it's snug up against the wall, keeps that paper from curling up into the soap. I mean, not every time. Sometimes I get a little end piece in there. Yeah, I think that's good. I think I'm going to save all of this to make soap balls out of. So what I'm going to do, see, wasn't that fast? That was so fast. That was a really high oleic soap. This should have taken forever to come to a trace. But because of the fruit, a little bit of heat, a little bit of water, it came to trace super fast. Love, love, love fruit. So cool. I'm going to grab another mold, and I'm just going to pour this in here so when it sets up, I don't have to dig it out. See how much trace we got on there? See how thick that got? But this way you don't have to try and dig it out of this container when it comes time to turn it into balls. I will at least record that if I don't manage to get a live stream set up for you. I asked Amy over on her YouTube how she made her soap balls, if it was just leftover end bits balled up. And yeah, she said it was. So totally cool. So what I'll do is I'll let this set up just a bit, and then when it becomes firm enough, I'll roll it up into balls, much like you would with Play-Doh or any type of a clay, and that we'll save those. I'll probably put them in a little airtight container so they'll be soft for when we wrap more soap around them. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. That's not what we're technically here to talk about, but it's what we're going to do, and it's going to be super awesome. I cannot wait. Definitely go check out her reel over on her page, and there is a video up on her YouTube of that. But in, like, what? We've been talking for maybe 15 minutes, and our soap's done. Oh, my goodness. Soap is done. This is already set up pretty well. And, I mean, I'm wiggling it, and the soap's not wiggling around. I'm going to do one more thing just to be sure I don't get overheating, because that is another thing that can happen with anytime you add fruits or any additional sugar to your soap. It can overheat. So I just have a bunch. These are just ice packs. And I'm just going to do this. And then this is going to hang out like this. If I was extra worried, I could wrap all of this in towels. I did put a video up on YouTube, and there's a blog post as well about gelling or not gelling. And this is essentially it. if I'm extra concerned and I can insulate with towels around this. See how that would just keep all that cold air in, but I'd want to leave the top exposed to let the heat escape somewhere. I'm not that concerned with it though, because I'm also on the stainless steel countertop, which is cold. So I have cold underneath, cold on both sides, and we're at 100 degrees. So that should be okay. Be okay. I want to show you the speckles again. Check them out. Can you see them in there? I love the speckles. They'll keep developing as the soap goes. Okay. It's not Wednesday, but we still have kind of wet soap. I did play with it a little bit, and it was really kind of fun, and I didn't have time to play with it, so I said, oh, this is going to be extra fun. I'll go ahead and flip us over, looking face down. Hi, everyone who'll be able to pop in. Thanks for joining. I know this is super last minute. Okay, so this is the soap we poured yesterday, by the way. It's still in the mold, and there's soda ash on top, which I think was very appropriate considering I just posted the soda ash article over on the blog today. See the darker spot in the middle? I just kind of wiped away some of the soda ash so you can see the difference between the ash and no ash. And check out our speckles. Oh my goodness, we have awesome speckles. You know, I didn't even look to see if we could unmold this. I'm going to bang this side of it, the little ridge here. So here's a ridge. You can see there's a ridge there up against the side of the table. See if I can pop it off. Pardon the noise. One moment. There. Okay. There's the bottom. I guess we can see if we can unmold it. Oh, yeah, we can. Well, oh, get that over there. I got you zoomed in here so you can see with me, and I'm not used to you being so up close and personal. Look at that. Oh, these are the best banana speckles I've ever achieved. Oh, how cool are those? Notice there's no soda ash on the bottom. There is soda ash on the top. Soda ash happens when your wet, high water content, which this is soap, is exposed to air. So yeah, there's more on that in the blog post. Gosh, I wasn't planning on cutting this with y'all right now, but I think we can. Heck, why not? Let's go ahead and cut it. Let me grab my cutting stuff. What we're gonna do, and the main feature, we're gonna play with soap balls, which is what's in this kind of mess in here. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut this since we unmolded it. Surprise bonus soupy fun. Okay, just get everything set up. So this is how I cut my soaps. First thing I do is I like to split them. Just set that little guy over there. And I need to measure on this 1.5 inches because I do this half round shape, which I personally love. Okay, this is learning experience for me. Because remember, I wasn't able to play with this soap cutter very much when I first got it. I had those problems with the cutter kind of rusting. So I've got 1.5 inches there. Looks like I had tried to mark it. But do I have 1.5 inches? I'm just measuring, so I'm going to slice this. So you can use this as a slicer and as a cutter for individual bars. I think it definitely takes some practice and getting the hang of this. But I'm willing to practice if it continues working as well as it has. Okay, I'm just double checking my measurement here. because I don't want to cut and then be upset. And good thing I checked. I'm up 1 tooth too many. Okay, so 1.5 inches there and 1.5 inches there. Okay, so if I was doing multiple pipes, that would have been well worth the time invested, because now I can just push this through. So this, you know, simulating if this was a loaf splitter, yeah, I was going to say log splitter. Maybe it is log splitter. Okay, and so as this part is exposed to air, oh, I think, is that happening like right on camera? Is it getting darker? It is. Oh, by the way, this totally smells like banana bread. I've been craving banana bread like crazy, or I guess like bananas, ever since we made these. My whole studio space smells like super yummy bananas. Where did I just put my little ruler? And it's been, oh, just so yummy. I just really want to make some banana bread. Okay, so then I'm just going to cut these to, I normally do just over 2 inches, but I poured this short. Oh yeah, that'll work fine. I'm about 8.5. So yeah, I'll still do my typical just over 2 inches here. Okay. Right. Boop. Yay. Yeah, you can still see what I'm doing. See, I'm getting the hang of this with y'all. Oh, these came out great. They smell just divine. And yeah, look, that looked like that just a minute ago. Okay, I'm setting this piece right here. You can see it. While I cut these, watch the banana speckles kind of oxidize and show up. So cool. And I'll make sure I'm lining this all up. Okay, I think I cut one too fat. Whatever, it's fine. It's just fun soap for me. Oh my gosh, these are so cool. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love these. This came out great. Oh my goodness. You see it? There's more speckles now. See, when we cut it, it looked like this. See, the speckles are popping out as it oxidizes. Oh, so, oh, look how much darker. It's just like a banana. Oh my gosh, these are so fun. I know, it's silly. It's little. It's not like that crazy cool, but oh my gosh, it's so fun. Soap is fun. Okay, last one here, and then we'll put this away, and we'll get on to rolling the balls. Okay. Oh my gosh, these look great. Oh, I'm so excited about these. I'm so glad we made some banana soap together. Oh, they're so cute. I mean, check out those speckles. Just check out those speckles. Oh, I love them so much. All right, I'll give you a photo update on those for sure the next few days as they cure up. Just moving those out of the way. I will get my cutter out of the way because what we are here and what I promised you was soap balls. Okay. Soap balls, soap balls, soap balls. Let's stick them on there. So this is the overpour from the same batch. Now, it was really, really soft when I peeked into it this afternoon. And it has firmed up a bit. I should have wrapped it up better. Oh, goodness. That's okay. We'll just warm it up here with our hands. So this is one scoop of it. And really, all I did was roll it up. I think I want my soap balls to be fairly large. I'm going to grab a bowl here. And I'm going to, with a cleaner hand than what I have, I got soap all over my glove, I'm just going to toss a little bit of water in the bowl. A little bit of water and a little bit of heat will soften this right back up. And I just need a little bit of water so we can shape it back up. Yeah, I was bad. I should have insulated it back up. I had it all wrapped up real nice with the saran wrap. I can't really roll on my stainless steel table. And then I started shaping this ball, and it was super soft. Then life got carried on with life. And I hardened up a bit because it was exposed to air, just because I didn't seal it up as well as I should have. But that worked pretty well. I was getting a couple cracks by smushing it. Okay, so why the heck am I rolling soap balls out of cold processed soap? So Amy over with the Soap Challenge Club posted these super cute soap balls where she just rolled some soap scraps into balls, and then I want a little rounder, and then she applied thin slivers of a kaleidoscope pour on top of it, and they are the coolest looking soap balls ever. And I was like, I have to have those. Oh my gosh, I have to have those. I wanted to drop everything, make them immediately, but we already had the banana soap planned. I mean, I think it was yesterday I saw it. It might have just been yesterday. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'm just going to pour off some of my banana soap, and we're going to make chocolate covered banana balls. Soap. Chocolate covered banana soap. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're going to do a kaleidoscope pour, and I'm going to use chocolate to color the soap because it's just soap. It's not a cosmetic, so therefore I can use chocolate. Yep. I don't think I want to do too many of them because I just poured a little bit. I want them to be a good size. That's like 63 grams. Oh, I am not going to get into the insanity of trying to weigh these all perfectly. I'm just going to wing it. They're close-ish enough. And I mean, remember, anyway, these are just for fun. Oh yeah, see, that warmed up pretty well. I was just squishing it around a bit, and it softened up really well. So this is kind of like soap dough. I mean, maybe it is soap dough because it's soap and I'm kneading it like dough. I wouldn't say this is a soap dough recipe, but it's working pretty well. And I haven't done a lot with soap dough. Oh, I think I can roll this one. A friend of mine, a soapy friend of mine, Christina, was gifted some soap dough. I think Chaz sent it to her. And Christina used to live not too far from me in Denver for a while. So we had a little soap party at the house and played with soap dough. And other than that, I really haven't played with soap dough. I've never made soap dough. I haven't made much stuff out of soap dough. We did those cute little unicorn soaps with, and we used the soap dough for the ears and for the horns. And then we piped on tails. It was super cute. That was fun. Don't think I'd ever do it again. It was a lot of work. Yeah, look, that's working out well. So I'm just kind of kneading it. And as I'm going forth and kneading it, it's really softening it back up. You could totally make bananas. You could make, I have banana soap on the mind now. What if we did make soap dough and made it yellow and green, and we made bananas, and then we poured a loaf of banana soap, and then we drizzled chocolate on it, and then we put soap dough banana embeds on top. Oh my gosh, that'd be really fun. That sounds like a lot of work too. So much soap to make, so little time. Look how well that warmed itself up. Notice how all the speckles are gone now? They're kind of all mixed in there. And this is more of a uniform color. Here's the well, this was the first one I did. I didn't need that one as much because I already mostly shaped it. I wonder if the speckles are going to come back as it sets up here. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh my gosh. They bloomed more. Oh my gosh. Check those out. Check out how many more speckles are on there. The coolest banana soap ever. I mean, I usually get good speckles on my banana soap, but that's a lot of speckling. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so soap dough. The deal with soap dough is your soap batter mostly sets up by keeping it cool and by keeping it wrapped up and airtight. It doesn't harden, and so it's dough, and you can do fun, cool, sculpty things with it. If I was doing soap ball, any other time I've done soap balls, I was making hot process soap. You fill your mold, and you got all these soap scrapings kind of left in the pot. I usually just scrape them up, roll them into a soap ball, and then say, mine, you're all mine. I've never used soap dough, as I was saying, for soap balls, but I just, yeah, as I said, I couldn't resist. I'm really excited about making the chocolate covered banana balls. Oh my goodness. So next week, Wet Soap Wednesday, we'll do the kaleidoscope pour with the chocolate. And then maybe we'll do a Wet Soap Thursday or Wet Soap Wednesday part 2 on a Thursday. Well, that's a mouthful. Again, next week to cover these little guys. Yeah, I think these look good. These are looking pretty good. I just want to make sure they're round. I'm probably obsessing over it way too much. But it's kind of fun and kind of therapeutic just to kind of squish them around too. And hi, Jordan. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, I'll just squish these some more. But that's it. I mean, you could be making anything you wanted to out of soap dough. And I do believe you can store it for quite a long time as long as you keep it sealed up without any air exposure. Because as soon as you start having air exposure, it will start to set up just like cold processed soap. The soap recipe really isn't that much different than any other soap recipe. It is a soap recipe. You make cold processed soap. And you pretty much do what we did. I mean, you saw me make this. We just poured it off and covered it with saran wrap, so that plastic wrapping is pretty important. And then about 24 hours later, I was able, it was the consistency of like Play-Doh. I then put the saran wrap back on it, but not tightly enough, so it started setting up. But as you can see, I was able to work it back, and now it's a nice malleable kind of clay that we can do stuff with. And in this case, we are doing balls because we're going to make chocolate covered banana balls next week. Okay, so in order to keep this suitable for applying a new layer to, because that's what we're going to be doing with our kaleidoscope pour. We're going to do an itty bitty baby kaleidoscope pour. I need to keep these soft. I don't want these to harden up in the meantime because I want to stick a layer of soap to a layer of soap. So in order to do that, I need to keep these soft. I need to keep them wrapped up in plastic again. For anyone that is experienced with polymer clay arts or took a ceramics course in high school, oh, I loved ceramics. I think I took, in the 4 years of high school, I think I took 8 ceramics courses, like multiple ceramics courses every single year. It was so fun. But anyway, a lot of the same thing that you're doing in soap as far as shaping, burnishing, shining things up, it's amazing how similar it is to ceramics. And when you're working with soap dough, if you want to work with soap dough, you can, watch any sort of ceramics tutorial as well and make all of that stuff, but make it out of soap. But anyway, you also, if these were clay, I'd need to be wrapping them up as well. So we're going to do a couple things here. Because I want to make sure these stay soft for that second skin to kind of be wrapped around them, which we'll do next week once we make the chocolate kaleidoscope. So I'm going to put them in. Can I put 2 in here? I can. I can put 2 in there. Okay, so I'm going to be extra for sure. These suckers are going to stay nice and moist. I'm going to wrap them up like that. And then I'm also going to put them like that. Now, if these were to dry out a bit, since it's kind of like a reverse embed, we're wrapping new soap around them, I could just mist them with water next week if they do get too dry. I don't think they will, though, because they just wrapped it in saran wrap and then put that inside of a Tupperware. That really should be just fine. Ooh, new box of wrap here. One moment. To figure out how to open a box of saran wrap. I open a box of saran wrap maybe once every 2 years. So, oh boy, I gotta find the start of it. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's pull a piece of this. Saran wrap, soap ball. Just kind of rolling it up like a Tootsie Roll. Folding that over. We'll put this one in there too. Minimize the amount of saran we have to use. Bloop. And you're home. Stay wrapped up and nice and happy. You could also put a little bit of water. Let's say they're already hard and you wanted them soft. You could put a bit of water in the container and that moisture will help soften it up, much like if you leave your soap on a wet soap dish and it starts getting soggy. Yeah, that would work for you too. Okay, there we go. We made soap balls. We made soap balls out of our banana soap. And look, they got even more speckly. Yeah, the brown banana skin color is really popping out on these. But talk about all natural colors, my dears, my dear soapy friends. No color, no scent added. It's cocoa butter, mushed old brown bananas, olive oil, sunflower seed oil, shea butter, and it smells really good. Oh my goodness. Now, the smell will fade. Anyone who ends up with one of these, it'll be a faint, reminiscent of banana smell by the time they're ready to use, but they will still look gorgeous and awesome. Okay, we're done. I do have some dishes to do. It is late. I don't know. Hi, Betsy. Hi, everyone. It was fun soaping with you, kind of sort of soaping with you. I think that's all for me now. Unless anyone has any questions, I'm going to pop out and go do my dishes before I chill out for the evening. And I'll see you next week with when we do the chocolate kaleidoscope pour and then top our soap balls. They're going to be awesome. Okay, bye, soapy friends.